Hi friends. With Ponniyin Selvan Part-2 set to release in theatres tomorrow, here is a short recap of what happened in Part 1 and what should we look out for in Part 2. The film is based on Amarar Kalki's cult novel Ponniyin Selvan. The story is narrated through the eyes of Vallavarayan Vanthiya Thevan. He is a prince without a kingdom, the most charming, intelligent and courageous prince of Vallam, which has no more his to rule. The story starts with the fall of a comet which is believed to bring death to the royal family. Sundara Cholan is the current ruler of Tanjavur. He has three children. Aditya Karikalan, the crown prince, the should-be successor of Sundara Cholan. Ilayya Pirati Kundavai Devi, the eminent and powerful princess. Arulmozhi, also known as Ponniyin Selvan, the favorite prince of the Chola kingdom and the title character. Ponniyin Selvan gets his name due to a mysterious incident that happened during his childhood. Once, when the royal family were sailing in the Kaveri River, also known as the Ponni Nadi, Arulmozhi, then a small boy, fell into the river. When the royal family was in distress as they were not able to find the kid, a mysterious hand raised above the water level, holding the prince and saving him. This mysterious hand was believed to be of Mother Ponni River herself, and as Arulmozhi was given life by her, he was fondly called Ponniyin Selvan, meaning son of Ponni. Sundara Cholan is sick and is held captive in his palace by the Paluvetarayar brothers, Periya Paluvetarayar and Chinna Paluvetarayar. No one is allowed to meet the king without their permission, and everything reaches the king only under their supervision. Periya Paluvetarayar is married to Nandini. Nandini is a blend of beauty, intelligence, and deceit. She is the master brain behind the Periya Paluvetarayar, who holds the most powerful position in Tanjavur after the king, who has become a mere puppet now. Sundara Cholan's predecessor was his brother Kandarathitha Cholan. Madurandaka Cholan is the son of Kandarathitha Cholan and Sembiyan Madevi. Since Madurandaka Cholan was a very small kid when Kandarathitha Cholan died, the throne was offered to Sundara Cholan. Also, Kandarathitha Cholan got a promise from Sembiyan Madevi to bring up Madurandaka Cholan as a Shiva devotee. He didn't want Madurandaka Cholan to become a king at any time in his life. There is also an unfulfilled love story between Aditya Karikalan, the crown prince, and Nandini, a commoner. They were teen lovers then, and they were separated by the conspiracy of his sister Kundavai and grandmother Sembiyan Madevi. Later, he immerses himself in wars to forget her. Once, he was battling a crucial war with Vikrama Pandyan, the king of Pandya dynasty. At one stage, the heavily wounded Pandyan escapes the battlefield. Aditya Karikalan wanders in the woods in search of him. He sees Pandyan's horse tied to a tree in front of a hut and rushes into the hut to kill him. There, he meets Nandini after so many years in a very unexpected situation. Nandini is found treating the wounds of Pandyan, who is now bedridden. Aditya Karikalan is in emotional turmoil and is furious after seeing his estranged lover Nandini beside his enemy. She pleads with Aditya Karikalan to pardon Vikrama Pandyan, whilst the furious Aditya Karikalan beheads the Pandyan in front of her eyes. She becomes hostile towards the Cholas and plans to revenge them along with the Pandyas and enters the palace as Ilayarani Nandini, the wife of Periya Paluvetarayar. Aditya Karikalan is aware that something is cooking behind their back. Vanthiya Thevan is the most trusted friend of Aditya Karikalan. Now, Aditya Karikalan gives a more dangerous task to Vanthiya Thevan. He wants Vanthiya Thevan to visit King Sundara Cholan in Tanjavur and inform him of the conspiracies and request him to shift to Aditya Karikalan's golden palace in Kanchipuram. Then warn his sister Kundavai in Parayarai about the dangerous web being spun around them. He hands over his dagger to Vanthiya Thevan as a token of identification. Later, he requests Vanthiya Thevan to visit Sri Lanka, where his brother Arulmozhi Varman is currently at war. He wants Vanthiya Thevan to be Arulmozhi's confidant in such a trivial situation. Vanthiya Thevan starts his interesting journey towards Tanjavur. He meets Alvarkadiyan Nambi, a Vaishnavite, on his way. Alvarkadiyan is a skillful spy and a very interesting character. He is the brother of Nandini, the elder boy of the family, who adopts Nandini as a baby. His family was faithful to Sembian Mahadevi. Vandiyathevan also gets to meet Nandini and somehow manages to get her signet ring. A very dangerous conspiracy is planned against the royal family in Kadambur Palace. Paluvetarayar, along with the petty kings, decides to split the kingdom into two. One is to be ruled by Maduranthaka Thevan and the other by the crown prince Aditya Karikalan. Vandiyathevan learns this during his stay in the palace. Later, Vandiyathevan reaches Tanjavur and meets Sendan Amudan, a boy who works at the temple, and asks him to take care of his house. He uses Nandini's signet ring to deceive Chinna Paluvetrayar and enter the Tanjavur palace. He meets the king, passes the message from Aditya Karikalan, and manages to escape the soldiers of Chinna Paluvetrayar. Then he accidentally meets Nandini in her palace as he is mistaken for the sorcerer by her servant. Then Vandiyathevan informs Princess Kundavai about the plight of Chola kingdom's current situation and the trap it is in. Vandiyathevan, being a natural flirt, falls in love with the princess herself. Kundavai too falls for him. Kundavai sends a message to Arulmozhi through Vandiyathevan, in which she asks him not to leave Sri Lanka and come to Tanjavur no matter what. Kundavai's close friend is Vanati, an orphan of Chinnavellar who died at war during her childhood days. From then, she grew along with Kundavai and is the prospective bride of Arulmozhi Varman. She too sends a message to Arulmozhi through Vandiyathevan. Vandiyathevan leaves for Sri Lanka in the boat of Pungulali. Pungurali is very skilled at rowing boats and is a talented singer. She is the cousin of Saint Namudan, who loves her one-sidedly. Meanwhile, Pungurali falls in love with Arulmozhi one-sidedly and wants to become a royal in the future. Arulmozhi once travelled in a boat and fondly named her Odakarapin. As Pungurali and Vandiyathevan set foot in Sri Lanka, they see a group of people who are also new to Lanka. They are none other than the Pandya conspirators, including Ravidasan and Soman Sambhavan. They have reached Lanka to kill Arulmozhi with the help of Karuthiruman, who is a sailor. Pungurali gets to know this conspiracy. Vandiyathevan gets to meet Arulmozhi in a very interesting plot. Arulmozhi is in disguise as a soldier when Vandiyathevan meets him for the first time. They are both involved in a fight in which Arulmozhi wins, and Vandiyathevan gets to know that the soldier he fought with is the prince and gets overwhelmed. Arulmozhi too identifies Vandiyathevan with his brother's dagger. He gets to know the messages from Kundavai and Aditya Karikalan respectively. The Pandya conspirators try to kill Arulmozhi but fail in the plan due to the intervention of Umay Rani Mandagini. She is a dumb woman who is so fond of Arulmozhi and has saved his life in numerous instances during his stay in Sri Lanka. She is also the aunt of Pungulari and Sendanamudan. Now, Arulmozhi Varman reveals the truth about the mysterious incident that happened in his life, which gave him the title Ponniyin Selvan. He says that Umay Rani was the person who actually saved him from the Ponni river. Her face from the incident remains fresh in his memories. Vandiyathevan and Arulmozhi find an unusual resemblance in her face. Meanwhile, a conspiracy was planned against Arulmozhi in Tanjavur. As Arulmozhi wins the Sri Lankan battle, the Buddhist monks request him to become the ruler. Arulmozhi declines their request. Paluvetrayar, on Nandini's command, terms this as a trickery and bring him captive to Tanjavur. Arulmozhi finds himself in a fix now. The message from Aditya Karikalan is to come to Kanjipuram. The one from his sister Kundavai is to not come to Tanjavur and stay in Lanka no matter what. An arrest warrant from his father, the king himself. Finally, the Pandya conspirators were waiting to kill him in Lanka. Arulmozhi, being an obedient son, decides to go by his father's command. Periya Velar, who accompanied Arulmozhi in the Lanka war, is against him leaving for Tanjavur. Arulmozhi tricks him and leaves on the elephant's back along with Pungulali for the shore where the Chola ship has been docked. Meanwhile, Vandiyathevan is held captive by the Pandya conspirators on a ship. Ponniyin Selvan finds this as he reaches the shore and fights the conspirators along with Vandiyathevan. During the fight, the ship catches fire and submerges into the ocean. Ponniyin Selvan and Vandiyathevan fall into the ocean and the mysterious Umay Rani comes to their rescue. Meanwhile, Tanjavur Palace is in shambles after hearing the news of Adarmoli being submerged in the ocean and probably dead. This is the climax plot of Ponniyin Selvan Part 1. Now, let us see what to expect from Ponniyin Selvan Part 2. Arulmozhi and Vandiyathevan will be saved by Umay Rani. Pungulveli, Vandiyathevan, and Seman Amudan's role in saving Arulmozhi and hiding him safely. Truth behind Umay Rani Mandagini Devi and her relationship with Sundara Cholan and her resemblance with Nandini. Nandini and Madurandaga Thevan's true relationship. Who was Sendan Amudan really and the mystery behind him, which he is unaware of. How Nandini, along with Pandya conspirators, planned to revenge Aditya Karikalan. How is Aditya Karikalan cheated? Who becomes the king finally? Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel to listen to more summaries, snippets and series of various famous books in Tamil and English.